Good day out there, everybody. How are you doing today? It's Remo back, and we are going out for, let's call it the first official test mission of a mission that isn't added in yet. I have got a whole lot done the last little bit. We are starting out at the garage right here, you can see. That's going to be the main hub, which is kind of somewhat in the middle of the map this time instead of over on a corner. But it's up on the top of a hill, so lovely view. And we are going to be heading over to one of the small town areas. We're going to be picking up the Cat 770 trailer, the disassembled one. And we're going to be dragging that thing all the way up to the mine, which is up towards the logging area, way uphill. Road is going to get worse and worse as we get there. I'm just taking kind of a long tour around. There's a slightly quicker way if we had to turn left, but this is all area that I have been working on just lately. We just passed it, you can't see, but there is a big hotel and it's going to have a couple of tasks. One of them is actually going to be using the water, so see if you can figure out what that's going to be. I'm really getting down to the last little bit of open area that's mostly just going to be a few houses and stuff thrown in on it. Then I'm going to be really hammering away on all the little stuff. Now you'll notice a good chunk of this map has the signage and such up on the map. Now I've been kind of doing that as I go so it doesn't turn into one massive job right at the end. But I really haven't done much with filling in the house areas and factories and all that. Be honest with you, right now I have 24 tasks roughed out. I've got 5 or 6 of them actually written out, so if that's any indication, it means that I'm getting closer and closer. If I had to just guess at a random number, I'm thinking probably 2 weeks away till we might be playing this public. So if everything goes well, I'm really just fine-tuning some of the roads and stuff like that. Make it all work, make it flat, make everything drivable, what I can tell. As far as what tasks are coming up, I'd mentioned before we're going to be building a brewery and a bunch of associated tasks with that, as well as once it's all said and done, we've turned into the wrong store here. Gonna have to go down to the next one. Gonna hide all those weird looking signs on the building with other stuff so it looks a little bit more natural. Anyways, the brewery's gonna have a repeating task, which is going to be delivering the product at the end, which I again will put on repeatable. We're gonna be delivering some large pipes for the farm. We have a bunch of logging tasks that are going to be repeatable. We're going to build the mine that we're heading up to, and then we're going to have some more associated tasks. Probably use a repeatable task coming from there. We are definitely going to have a bunch of recoveries, and the good news is those 24 tasks that I've written out do not include a single recovery. So that means we're looking at probably 6 or 7 more missions, so we're going to be topping the 30 mark on this map, which I think plays a little better on a map like this because you really can get across the map pretty quickly. I don't think this map is going to excel quite as much as it should until I have the second map, which kind of stretches out the driving distance on stuff, because right now it's we're going to drive probably halfway across the map, and you'll see what we can get done in a pretty short amount of time. Now I think this challenge is going to be pretty significant because this little trailer is already hanging up on this road because we're actually in the Peterman by M181. and great truck. A little bit tall for this trailer, but it's going to be a challenge to get it in here. I don't know how doable it is. Kind of why I picked this one as a mission to test and show y'all was because I'm not too sure if the trailer's going to make it in there. I know dragging this thing just about anywhere but flat road is a challenge. It's pretty heavy. I thought it would be a good challenge though, and it's kind of a place where you may see this rig in real life, so we're gonna try and drag it up there. You can see in the background that's going, both ends of this map are going to end up hooking up to other ones, and yes, I think that's giving away that I'm gonna go for 3 maps. Unless I put this out and nobody likes it, I'm gonna end up doing 3 maps because it at least needs that, maybe 4, we'll see, but definitely 3. You need the distance when you're running roads this nice, or the map seems pretty small. Now back to what kind of tasks we're going to be looking at. Like I said, we're going to have a few ones for the hotel. We're going to use water there. There's going to be farm tasks. I don't know if I'm going to bother putting the farm fields in. In general, nobody's really very interested, and it's probably a fair bit of dinking around to do it. So I'm probably going to skip that, but I'm going to use the different food cargoes in different areas. Some things I'm going to use, like the cellulose, not going to be cellulose the way I'm using it in game, but it's kind of hard to find anything else that will work for the cargo I want to use. So use your imagination, 100%. We're going to have a few garages to build. We're going to be a couple houses and cabins, so a lot of the lumber, service parts, concrete, bricks, that kind of stuff. I'm going to use the garbage bins in a few spots again. I thought that was kind of fun in the Outback, or sorry, Slip Rock Peaks, my apologies. I want to use the piping trailer and maybe the construction trailer if I could figure out another excuse, but there's going to be a couple of these special trailers. A little, like I said in another video, like go grab a pump and take it somewhere for a warehouse that is going to open when you get this thing back up and going. I'm looking at working in, there was a cannery building from season 10 that I think I can probably work into this map, which is also probably going to end up allowing me to work in the boat on the trailer and a few tasks like that. Also a repeating task that's going to be delivering some more, we're going to call it fish, consumables. I'm really thinking about working in a dock build with it too, like you're kind of setting this area up. There's going to be, as I've said in other videos, a couple of bridge tasks that are going to, one of them you're definitely going to want to do, the other one's not life or death, but it's the big bridge I put in the last video, I think, the off-road trail, way up high, so there's going to be a chunk of that that can be fixed, and there will be a few antenna tasks that are going to be scattered throughout the map. I'm looking at, I think I have 6 watch points on this one, so nothing too crazy, but enough to get you out and touring. Again, the logging runs, we're looking at a bunch of repeatable runs, thinking like 3 small, 3 medium, 2 long logs, something like that. But again, just a repeatable task that you can go back and go at. So really, I was surprised how many I had thought out fairly easily, and I'm probably not going to do a whole lot more other than, like I said, a bunch of recoveries, because I know most of us love doing that. The rest of it I'm going to kind of save moving over to the second map, because again, we need a different focus. I think I'm going to use the drilling stuff on the next map, which means it may be a little less highway-y, not quite as populated as this one, but we'll see. I haven't really truly planned it out yet, but probably going to look at that kind of stuff. I want to do some more of the crafting. I have one good idea for crafting that's going to be on this map without just putting crafting in for the sake of putting it in. So I'm going to use that for now. I haven't really come up with a good idea. Again, I've said that I would like to use the crafting for more of the complicated things. Like, I don't want you to... I'm not really digging to bring a couple logs, get one thing of planks. There's quite a few planks that are going to be needed on this map and future maps, so it's not something you're going to want to make all the... I think it's just going to get really repetitive after a while. Perhaps what I had considered is on the second map, having crafting stations with more of that stuff, which may be a little less populated, but you still have the big loading area full back on this side. I am not even sure what I'm caught on here, but we are stuck. This is what I was talking about with this little trailer, is the back end of it is just a bugger sometimes. It is a fun challenge, I'll give it that, but you almost need a helper, somebody running along behind you to yank this thing around. I honestly don't see... We gotta be stuck on the tail end of the trailer at this point. I don't see what else it could be. I have the medium engine and the Peterman here. Off-road gearbox, because it goes pretty good road speed and automatic with that. High suspension. This doesn't have active suspension. I have a feeling this was out quite a bit before that came out as a feature. I'm not too sure. None of the suspension options I could see had active, so you could lift up. Caught on the exact same spot. What on earth is going on here? I will go in the editor and see what's happening here, because it seems like I'm caught on a stump, but I don't see a stump, so I wonder if there's an invisible one, because the road would cancel it out, but it's close enough to the edge. I'm gonna have to check that out. Hopefully you're all into this challenge of dragging this thing up here. I mean, the first half of the trip is pretty easy. You just got to keep it on the road. In Snowrunner, that's easier said than done. I can't lie about that. Oh, we're way over and we're still caught. I mean, it's got to be that back end, I think. That rock under the tire wouldn't do it, would it? Well, this is interesting. Some good testing, I guess you could call it. I'm going to check and see if there's something blocking it there for some reason, but I'm not going to do a whole lot of adjustment to this road. Perhaps a truck that isn't quite as high off the ground, like maybe if I had have just went with the regular suspension and some smaller tires, I might not be in the spot I'm in right now. Oh, there we're going. We want the challenge, right? I'm probably, like I said, not going to change too much. So you can see here I'm just cycling through the weathers and the dev tools. But the light isn't proper right now, and I think that's because I'm using the dev tools to set the time. I wanted to keep it sunny, but I've seen it do this a couple times before. It kind of almost acts like there's a big shadow over the map, and I wasn't paying attention there and took a little damage. But yeah, it just doesn't seem properly dark. The lights aren't doing anything. It just kind of does this weird setup once in a while. Like I say, I've seen it a couple times, but I'm not really sure why it does that. Because we were all right when we left. This is our turn, if I remember correctly. And we're hung up again. I think some winching. Straight pull. See if we got our real actual tree. Yeah, let's see if we can change. See, that's what I mean. Like the weather, it just went funny there. Like there was no sun up in the sky almost. Anyways, we'll go back to the in-game weather instead of using the dev tools, and see if we can drag ourselves out of this mess. Now, this road comes up from the other side to that small town if you take the big hills and down through that gully. There is a trail that comes from that side that may be a touch flatter. I can't remember. I haven't driven up it yet. Only built it in the editor. Bottom line is, this is going to be a relatively challenging task. You're going to have to bring a few things up here because we're going to reopen the mine that is up here. You can see it's that buildable one. I don't remember what season it's from, but we are going to be slapping that back together. And then there is, like I said, going to be a repeatable task that's going to come with this one once you're all said and done getting everything up and going and getting this machine up there. Hoi! That's some fancy trucking right there. I got away with it. It's probably hard to flip this thing back over if it goes over on its side. Don't think I've ever had to, actually. And look at that, we can finally see the mine in the background. So any ideas anyone has watching this that may want to add in? We're thinking, so with recoveries and regular tasks, we're probably looking at about 30 to 32 missions, contracts, tasks that are going to be on this map. I think it's going to be a good number, and it leaves me a bunch extra to play around with later on. And some of this stuff we open up is going to help with the next map, at least in my planning right now. So leave your comments, your good ideas, anything you like, you don't like below. Really appreciate you tuning in and watching. And I think we'll just go for a quick spin over to the edge. I've tried to put a lot of lookouts in this one. Like here, I made sure there was no trees in the way. And just have a quick look out over the swampy logging area. We're kind of about halfway up the hill. There's trails that go much higher than this one. And yeah, appreciate y'all watching. Should have something out again soon. And I updated Outback heavy hauling today, so let's hope it gets through. Take it easy, folks.